Hey you guys, it's that time. Pick a story where in one of the decks or all of the decks could be a story or a message for you. So what I like to do is have you pause the video for you to see which deck is resonating with you. And we'll go ahead and begin with deck number 1. All right, we have the Moon, the Queen of Cups, the Ten of Cups, the Five of Wands, the Fool, overall energy, King of Swords, the Star, and the Knight of Pentacles. All right, so, well, for one, I kind of feel like you guys have been dreaming a lot. Just having like a lot of dreams. Maybe your dreams have been telling you messages, or your dreams have been trying to get you to acknowledge something that's going on within you. Maybe you've been seeing a lot of synchronicities and signs from the universe. You also might have an air sign on your mind, maybe especially an Aquarius, but could be a Libra or a Gemini. Also seems that you're thinking about an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Really, you got some of everybody coming out. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. I don't know why, too. I kind of felt like I was reading for a water sign. But, you know, this message is, of course, for whoever chose deck number 1. But I guess I was feeling like I was picking up on the perspective of a water sign. You also could be becoming more sensitive, very sensitive. If you have any type of psychic abilities, those could definitely be active this week. Maybe you're tapping into that, or something is triggering it for whatever reason. So yeah, you might find yourself being very intuitive and very compassionate. Like you might be hearing someone's story and then all of a sudden you just feel like boo-hooing for that person and just overwhelmed, like you can really just feel what they're going through. So I feel like you are heavily into your feelings. If there is someone that's thinking about you from a distance, I feel like you can feel it. You're like, I know that person is thinking about me, talking about me, whatever. You're just very in tune with them. Now, aside from having like a lot of dreams, you might be very, having like a lot of fantasies. Maybe you're doing a lot of daydreaming or fantasizing about certain things. You also could be so head over heels in love that you're being a little delusional. So you might need to ground yourself. Maybe you are looking at someone and you're like, oh, I know they were hinting at me. Oh, I know they were talking to me. And it's like, that might not be the case. I don't know. Just, be cautious, because it does seem like there's a lot of emotions out to the point where you might be reading into something the wrong way. Just feeling over emotional about something. Something else I was getting ready to say here. Yeah, so another way this can be coming off is you dealing with anxieties, or some sort of abandonment issues, or trust issues might come to the surface. It just seems like there's going to be some big emotional trigger. You know, maybe you're watching a movie and it affects you in a way that you didn't anticipate it to. It's like, where did these feelings come from? Like, this just came out of nowhere. You know, you just find yourself being very emotional about some things. You might end up having to detach. Yeah, it seems like something's going on where you have to turn those feelings off. Like, if you care too much. So you're like, let me just detach completely. Also, if you notice that you're putting way more into someone than they're putting into you, same thing. You might be like, let me stop caring about this person because they're not even doing anything. I done asked them how their day was. I bought donuts for the whole office and nobody's saying, you know, just whatever. And you might just feel like at some point you need to just like cut off your emotions. Maybe you are having to set boundaries or learn how to set boundaries too. Now, there's some things that could be going on with family. I don't know if, especially if you're dreaming about fish, one of your family members might be getting ready to have a baby, or maybe you're the one getting ready to have a baby. Yeah, you might be picking up on some sort of pregnancy. And it looks like your family could be growing or expanding in general. Love, in a love situation, I would be cautious. I almost feel that somebody tried to tell you the truth, but you're not trying to hear it. You're so lost in a fantasy that you just, I don't know, this person may have been very direct with you. They might have been like, yeah, I'm still in a relationship, or yeah, I'm still with, you know, my baby's mom or my baby's father. I'm in love with that person. Whatever, somebody may have been very upfront with you. But you are, you know, just kind of fantasizing, daydreaming in love, like, oh, you know, they said that, but I don't think that's what they really meant. Like, you really have to be cautious about that because I kind of feel like somebody was very blunt with you. Um, Also, you may have seen something on the internet that made you feel some type of way. Maybe you were trying to see if somebody is single, then you see they're in a family and you get kind of triggered. Maybe you didn't even anticipate to feel that way. You also might be feeling some sort of creative spark. You might have to suffer through like a lot of emotions if you're an artist, like because that is where your art is coming from. Like you're suffering and you're turning it into art. So maybe if you are going through an emotional time, try to channel those energies into your artwork, whether you're painting, singing, writing music, acting on stage, or acting in film. Just like use that energy to your advantage. I kind of feel that if you do finally realize that somebody is not gonna leave the person they're with or whatever, you might finally be like, you know what, let me stop and just like cut them off cold turkey. Someone around you might make you feel insecure at times, but I feel that you just have to push yourself to overcome that or not look for their validation. Also, just in love, in general, it seems that whoever you're with or interested in has a tendency to bring out your insecurities. Even though they're not trying to, it's just something, for whatever reason, you start feeling insecure around this person, thinking that, you don't look right or something's wrong. Oh, just thinking about all these negative thoughts about yourself when you're around them. And it's just like, or asking them, like, what are you looking at? Is this something on my face? And they're like, I don't see anything on your face. What are you talking about? It just seems like you might be acting like a little paranoid, just making like the wrong assumptions. And I've talked about this before. A lot of times that can be because of the synastry between the two of you. Maybe their Saturn is on your moon or vice versa. Or one of their planets is in your 12th house. And just kind of bringing out these insecurities or these hidden feelings that you were unaware of. I do feel that someone is indirectly expressing their sadness or expressing their sadness through art. Someone also might be expressing that they love you, but indirectly. You could be involved with someone who's like deeply romantic, and it's making me think of like this scene in this old movie, It's a Wonderful Life. But there's a scene where the guy is like, you want me to lasso the moon for you? Basically, that, I'm paraphrasing, but he was talking about, I'll lasso the moon for you. And so, maybe I kind of feel like somebody is being romantic and talking about something of that nature, like they'll give you the moon, or they love you to the moon and back. So like somebody is being very expressive, emotionally. It's talking about their deep emotion. And maybe too that it is a situation where when a relationship becomes too deep, somebody starts to feel insecure and then they detach or run. I'm even hearing like the name Mona. There's a lot of heavy emotions going on. And it's the same signs that are out: water, fire, not fire, water, air, and earth, that seem to be significant. I feel like somebody's very afraid and or depressed about something. Somebody's emotional well-being could be going out of control. I don't know. I feel like maybe somebody needs to talk to somebody, or somebody needs some kind of grounding. Also, somebody might be ignoring the signs. Maybe someone feels ignored by you and that's doing something to them, or vice versa. And I'm seeing a little bit of obsession going on as well. Career-wise, it seems that maybe there is something that you're wanting to do differently, but you're holding on out of fear of the unknown. Like you don't know anything else outside of the job that you work at, so there's a fear of you letting go and leaving, and overthinking, trying to think like, oh, if I leave, then what happens, you know. But either way, I feel like something indicates that a relationship or a situation is fear-based. Like you're staying in a relationship out of fear, or staying in at a job out of fear. This also can be a weird situation where people are broken up, but they have to live together. There's still that codependency there. And it might just be a lot of anxiety around that situation. I feel like you might be having dreams about somebody that you just don't talk to anymore, or somebody who has moved on. Now, there is some fire energy coming up. Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. But I feel like something is over with them. Somebody might be having a hard time moving on from a fire sign. I do feel that someone is trying to get your attention, but it's like you're not trying to hear it, or you don't want to deal with it. Someone's trying to get your attention, including if it's a spirit. I also feel that you're being pushed to go forward with something. Like I said, it's something that you might be passionate about, but you're afraid to do it or take a risk. And I feel like you're being pushed to do this. Like things are going to become more and more uncomfortable for you until you go ahead and take that risk. I feel like you have to try. Somebody also might be telling you something that is good for you to hear, but you're like, shut up, like they're right, but leave me alone. Maybe this person is pushing harder for you than you're pushing for yourself, and that could be frustrating. Feels like you're also about to embark on some sort of a new journey, but it's something that you've never experienced. Now, it could be like a literal high, like you're like, I never tried this before. And whatever it is, it seems like it helps you to like just like loosen up and let your guards down, or to confront your fears, or just take that risk. I feel like ultimately you end up just doing what you want to do and not care what other people have to say, or not care how you're going to be perceived or judged. Something's going on where you're just like, I'm doing me and I don't care. People can agree or they don't or whatever. It does look like maybe someone wants to go after their dreams. The other thing I keep getting though is that you keep ignoring something that Spirit is trying to tell you or show you. I feel like maybe Spirit is trying to tell you something about a water sign, but you're ignoring it. If you're the water sign, then you're ignoring something about yourself. Something is going on. All right, so let's move on to deck number 2. All right, you have the Hierophant, the King of Pentacles, the Two of Pentacles, the Two of Cups, the Nine of Swords, overall energy, 4 of Cups, 5 of Cups, and 7 of Pentacles. All right. So, overall energy, you might be very introverted or quiet, or maybe you've been wanting to be left alone. It seems that you've been processing and have like a lot on your mind. I kind of feel too like you are getting frustrated with the waiting period of something. Maybe you're waiting for money to come in. Maybe you're waiting to hear from somebody. And all this waiting, it feels like you just kind of get fed up with it. You're just like sick of waiting. But at the same time, it's like you have no choice. You might have found yourself like purging emotionally a lot, and then just kind of like being like, okay, woosah, I got that out my system, and just trying to get more centered. It also seems like there is something that you might be holding back, but maybe you're getting ready to open up and share or reveal something that you've been keeping to yourself. It also could be the same, like in reverse. Maybe somebody's been keeping something from you. You feel like somebody has something that they haven't been saying, but they end up opening up and sharing like what's going on. I feel that maybe your beliefs are being challenged. But I also see something being revealed to you. Like something is being unlocked. I don't know. I kind of feel that maybe someone is giving you like a key like, I just feel like something's being unlocked. Maybe something's going to start to make sense to you, where something has been puzzling or you didn't understand. It's just been like some sort of blockage, and it's like, like this is what's been going on, and this is why this has been happening, and it just all makes sense. I feel like you might find out something in regards to either your health or something in regards to some hidden feelings, like someone who's been hiding their feelings from you. And then once you get like this little piece of information, it just really unlocks things and makes things clear. I feel like you're also getting ready to take on some kind of responsibility. So it could be a promotion, or any type of job or career that you have to be just very responsible about. If this is in regards to relationships, it looks like a relationship is becoming more serious. Maybe you were waiting to see like where you stood with someone, and then finally it becomes official, like you become officially known as a couple or whatever. There is still some kind of instability, or something is still off. I feel that something becomes clear, or you get that, piece of security that you were needing. And then, I don't know, something still just seems off. It is unstable. So let's say you were waiting for that commitment from your partner, and then they, either proposed to you, or, like I said, made it known that you guys were officially a couple. And it seems to give you a sense of security for a minute, and then something just still isn't quite right. I feel like somebody is still conflicted or indecisive about what to do. Or it's like, even though you get some sort of job offer, you're still kind of like on the fence about it. Maybe you secretly are hoping that you get hired at this other place, and you're like, man, this place came first, so I guess I should accept it. And you're like, but what if I accept it and then the other place calls me? So I feel like you might find yourself in one of those type of situations. Same thing about relationships. Maybe, especially if you just want to be in a relationship and somebody just kind of beats the other person to the punch, and you're like, oh, well, I do like them. Okay, we're in a relationship, and it's like as soon as you become official with somebody else, the other person wants to come along, and it's like, oh, now I'm confused again. So it just seems like something is kind of wishy-washy or unstable. Seems to like maybe somebody is doing some kind of juggling. Seems like you're dealing with something internally. You're processing something. You don't know how to deal with, whatever you're dealing with right now. You might be going through very confusing times. Or wondering, when is something going to end? Now, too, if this is not your energy, it could be the energy of somebody around you, somebody that's close to you, and, whatever is going on, their energy is coming through your reading. Maybe you're going to have to give that person advice, or talk to that person or something. I feel like an earth sign might have something to reveal to you. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Somebody does feel as if they messed up. I feel like maybe somebody's been thinking about you and they feel like they made a mistake, but they have not been ready to express this to you. And I feel like this person also goes like back and forth. I feel like somebody also maybe doesn't want to send mixed signals, or they don't want to get anything started if they're not ready to finish it. But, you know, in a love situation, it definitely feels like there's an earth sign that's been thinking about you. I feel like this is a past person, and they want to open up to you. They want to express to you how they feel or things that they've been going through. Now, they also may have been going through some personal things, which is another reason why this person has not reached out to you as of yet. Maybe this person is aware that they're emotionally unavailable, and, you know, they just don't want to, you know, get your hopes up, or, like I said, start something that they can't finish. Now, even though, you know, I am picking up on like love situations, this can apply to something else. Maybe there is just in general somebody that's been thinking about you, is like a lot that they're going through, or a lot that they've been thinking about, but they haven't been able to express that to you just yet. If this is career related, it does seem like you're torn. I feel like maybe two places are going to try and hire you around the same time, or you're conflicted about what path you should follow. It seems like you have a choice. Maybe you want to try and see if you can do two things, but it's like hard. You might be asking yourself which is more important. And in any situation, you might be weighing logic and heart. What does logic say? What does heart say? If somebody doesn't approach you in reality, then it might just be in a dream. Also, health-wise, your body could be trying to tell you something. Your body might be trying to explain something that's going on within you health-wise through a dream. I feel like someone has possibly been waiting to hear from a physician. You also could be dealing with someone who's a doctor. Yeah. There's strong earth energy out for somebody. And this person is coming off like stone. They don't want to open up to you. They're not ready. I feel like it's just hard to read their energy. I kind of feel that someone feels like they owe you. They're like, I owe them an explanation, or I owe them an apology. And in general, I feel that somebody just wants to make things right with you. They want to make peace. Yeah. So at some point, I feel that somebody's going to be giving off mixed signals. I don't know if it's you, or I feel like it's. I still feel like it's this Earth energy. But somebody does seem like they start trying to. I'm not intentionally, but they're just giving off mixed signals. I also feel like somebody is trying to mask how happy they are to see you or talk to you. They don't want you to know how excited they are. Or maybe you don't want somebody to know how excited you are to hear from them. Career-wise, I feel like you are trying to make something work. You're trying to make it all work out. You're like, I can do this. I can multitask. I feel like you are maybe having multiple sources of income. Mm, if you are artistic or creative, you definitely could be doing that type of work or trying to do that as well as like a 9 to 5. Yeah, I feel like you're struggling with being creative or expressing yourself, or maybe you're just a content creator in general, and it seems like you're struggling. Mm, maybe you've got a lot on your plate. Maybe finances are hard, so you're having a hard time, are rough, so you're having a hard time, focusing or putting all of your energy into one thing. It does seem like you could be stretching yourself thin. You might need to make some sort of choice and focus on one thing for the time being. Kind of seems too like maybe someone needs, feels the need to become their alter ego to interact with you. I feel like ultimately you are going to get what you want. Mm, it's still like, in order to have what you want, though, you have to give something up. Maybe it's your time, maybe it's where you live, maybe you see that you can't juggle both a relationship and a job, so you choose the job. Like something's going on where it seems like you can have what you want, but you still might have to give something up. Um, Relationship wise, I see two people coming closer together, two people bonding on something, possibly bonding on some sort of loss or something sad that happened. It's just like bringing people closer together. And another way I'm interpreting this is seeing someone apologizing for something. They feel bad. They're like, I can't change the past, but let's start now. Like, I'm sorry for what happened. You know, so I feel like somebody wants forgiveness for what they did or didn't do or should have done differently, including if this is you. And it does look like two people are like having an opportunity to come together, come back together. Maybe you have, you know, a stable relationship, or not stable, long-term relationship. You've been in a relationship for a long time, but maybe you guys have been going through some ups and downs, and it seems that there's still a willingness to try and work things out. I feel like you've got to stop getting in your own way or talking yourself out of something. You're overthinking some things. You're overthinking the future. You might have to learn how to live in the now. Stop looking backwards. Stop trying to look forward and just focus on the now to help you overcome some train of thought that you're trapped in. I feel like you can't be afraid of the future. There's this balance that you're needing to find. I just feel like living in fear holds you back. This can also be coming from the perspective of someone who just really wants to approach you. They're living in fear, and you know, only they can get themselves out of that mindset. I feel like it wouldn't be anything that you could do necessarily. They have to do this on their own. All right, so let's move on to deck number 3. You have the King of Swords, the Five of Cups, the Moon, the Wheel, Ace of Cups, overall energy, the Hierophant, the Tower, and the King of Cups. Seems like maybe you had some sort of an awakening or some sort of realization. It's like the truth came out or got exposed. This may have to do with a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, or an air sign, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. Yeah, I feel like something has recently been revealed to you. And whatever it is, I don't know, it's making you emotional, or it might make you emotional. Maybe it hasn't happened yet, but it just seems like when the truth does come out, you feel really bad or really emotional about it. It seems for you too that your faith is being challenged Your beliefs are being put to the test. You also might suddenly be forced into a role of responsibility, or maybe the way it happens, it was just unexpected. Like all of a sudden you are in charge, or you're responsible for a department, or you're responsible for something in regards to family. Like you're the one that everybody's like looking up to. You also might not want to disappoint people, or you have a fear of letting people down, or not living up to somebody's expectations. I feel too that health wise, maybe someone is being clinically diagnosed with something, or it's like official. Maybe something was like speculation, and then it's just like, oh no, like, yeah, you're suffering from this, or you have this. I feel like it may have more to do with like an emotional disorder, like depression, anxiety, bipolar. You also might talk about things that are sad, or I don't know. It just seems that truth is being spoken, but whatever truth is being spoken is kind of sad. If you are the one receiving some sort of sad truth, I feel that, don't get stuck in it. Just try to make the best out of it. It's okay to grieve or mourn or cry, but, just don't get stuck there. Maybe someone's being triggered in regards to trust issues or emotional traumas. It just seems that those are being brought to the surface. I feel like things you try to ignore or forget about. You might realize that you've been in denial about your feelings for somebody. Well, it looks like, that situation is going to change either way, and you are going to embrace like this new lease on life, or maybe there's a new love opportunity being presented to you, and you're just like, you know what, I'm going to embrace it. I'm going to see where it goes. It also could be about embracing self-love. If you are intuitive, it does seem like maybe you had a vision or a dream or premonition about something that was getting ready to change in your life, and it happens. But I feel like you'll get through it. It might be time for you to leave. More so like in regards to career, it might be time for you to find a new career. Maybe you feel lost or afraid. Also could be time for you to go to school, but you're afraid. Or school, or get like some sort of certificate in something. Also, if anybody is suffering, it's more so because of not wanting to go along with change. I feel like change is inevitable. And the more you're resistant towards change, the more it makes you suffer. So it's better to just like embrace the change that's happening in your life, whatever that could be. I feel that all the sadness is going to be washed away. I feel that you're needing to look and see where Jupiter is at in your chart, because whatever house Jupiter is in, I feel like that house is being activated this week. I feel that changes that you're currently going through or about to go through are going to cause you to dig deep. It's going to cause you to go looking for answers. It's like you want to understand like why these things are happening. You're like, I need to look into this, especially if you are into astrology, because I feel like you are going to want to look and see what transits are happening, what's going on in your chart that's making certain things happen. Some of you might be trying to understand or see if free will exists. Maybe you're like, is there really free will? Like, is that just an illusion? You know, so it might be something, and it does look like an illusion is being shattered. But I feel like you're trying to see if you can change your future or if it is already written. Can you do anything about your future? And even if you can't, like, it's more so about your perspective on life. Like, you know, don't get stuck in thinking it's a bad thing. Just more so learn to live in the life that you're living, make the best out of it. Just change your perspective in general. Somebody is opening up the lines of communication. I don't know. I feel like something was like a gray area. I don't know. Somebody is wanting to open up and talk about things or come forward. I also feel that whatever new information you stumble across, your your immediate response is disbelief, and then you kind of become more open to what you're learning. You might start to understand that something is bigger than you that's happening. Even though you might already know that, it's like something might happen where you're like, oh my God, it's so much bigger than me. It's so much bigger than this relationship. Like you just start seeing that things are just so much bigger than you or what you can see. And that you're not going to understand every single thing. Somebody could also be revealing something to you that has been bothering them or that's been making them just really sad. They might reveal that to you. Either you or somebody around you is feeling ignored or disregarded. Yeah. Okay, so in regards to dreams, I feel like somebody is visiting you in a dream. Um, Whatever they say to you in a dream, though, I still feel like it's going to be confusing. I don't feel like it's going to make sense off the bat. I also feel that you might be too emotionally attached to receive the information clearly. Mm, Another thing I'm seeing is that someone is thinking about going away or moving away, but in secret. I feel like somebody around you might be very confused. Um, Confused, paranoid, or delusional. Um, it might be a mental, a medical condition, or it could just be someone is just so overwhelmed emotionally. But I really think this is talking about a dream. Somebody coming to you in a dream. They're visiting. I feel like it's going to be a female. Yeah, like I was saying earlier, the suffering comes from resisting change. And I feel that this change needs to be embraced. Um, yeah. I feel that there is an opportunity opening up for you, and like maybe you're just having a hard time um, embracing this opportunity or accepting it. Yeah, it's time for some kind of cycle to end. Some chapter of your life is done, but I feel like maybe you're trying to keep it alive or resuscitate it. But this is just the universe's way of saying, no, like it's okay, you did a good job, like go on, it's time for you to do this now, it's time for you to do that now. And it can be anything. It can be pertaining to a relationship or a job. It's just like, no, like you've, it's gone as far as it can go. Like, time to move on. So, yeah, definitely seems like you're having to walk into change, but you're fighting it. Something also kind of makes me think like a father or father figure, like, is giving his child tough love. It's just like, no, like I've listened to you cry in this room for, a week straight. I'm not tolerating this. You've got to get out and do this now. You got to do it. Like, I feel like somebody is giving you some sort of tough love. And it might literally be like a father or a father figure. But it also could just be like spiritually or the universe saying like, no, like we gave you time to, grieve and cry and blah, blah, blah and fight again. Like, it's time now. So I do feel like you're going to walk into this new change or this new beginning. Yeah. It's really just in general time for some chapter of your life to close. Even if this was about you being comfortable being single and you were like, I don't want a relationship. I know this person is trying to talk to me, but I don't want it. Like, it might be time to go ahead and get to know that person or put yourself out there, after being single for so long. So it could go that way too. It's not necessarily some sort of sad ending, although changes can be difficult. But I just feel that it's something that it's time for you to do. And I feel that maybe you've been getting signs about this. Maybe you're supposed to move and you don't want to move. You just want to hold on to the house that you're in. And it's just like, no, you have to move. Or you have to get out the house. You have to be social now. You've been an introvert for 20 years. Like, something's going on where it's time to change. So, yeah, hopefully that helps. But feel free to leave your feedback. Thank you guys for watching. Sending love and grace.